Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I wish I could be greeting you under better circumstances, but yesterday was unique. And I really say yesterday was an incredible day and not in a good way, obviously. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. And I'm still just trying to think about what are the next steps. And my answer right now is I don't know. I want you to hear that honestly from me. My plan has just been to hold until we get to euphoria, and I think I'm still going to do that, but I'll be completely honest with you. So I'm going to tell you my plan, and then I'm going to tell you what I think happened, and then I'll tell you, in my opinion, very raw thoughts as to where do we go from here in crypto, and give some thoughts and I guess a little bit of a concern with what I'm seeing with people on X. So here's the deal. I had 4 cryptos that were my biggest bags. And I'm saying had in the past tense because those 4 cryptos were XRP, Sui, Dogecoin, and Avalanche. My XRP I accidentally sold last week and I never bought back in, or it might have been 2 weeks ago, I don't remember. So I didn't buy back in. And so there's that bag. And that's a story that I've shared in my live streams as to how I sold it. It was an accident with a limit order, and maybe that was just a blessing in disguise. My Avalanche, I forgot about a limit order that I set. You know, if it gets to this, you automatically sell, and thankfully that triggered yesterday, and my AVAX bag is gone. I don't know if I'll buy back in or not, you know? So now I'm down to Sui and Dogecoin. And as of right now, my intention is to hold. There may be a time when that's a different intention. Now, I do have plenty of other cryptos. Those are just my big bags. I have my $200 to $1 million challenge wallet still going. I have things in other places. I obviously have my HeHe. And, you know, honestly, it's interesting. I hate crypto. I've hated it since 2022. I've only seen opportunities to make money. I haven't seen things to buy that I would have strong conviction in. And so there's a part of me, I'm just honestly, another thing that I did, let me back up for a second. I transferred one of my trading accounts to my stock account because I've been killing it in my stock account, especially with trading options, with selling options. So like that's the kind of thing that I'm just thinking like, man, maybe I should just put most of this into that and just keep on doing what I'm doing with that, but at a bigger scale, you know? So that's just me, and that's just me right now, less than 24 hours removed from this event. I'm not going to do anything for probably the next week at least, and probably not until November, honestly. Because even worst case scenario, I could see a bounce back to a lower high, and that would be the time to sell if I'm going to sell my bags. So I don't have specific answers for you in that, but I mean, listen, you know how I feel about the 4-year halving. I've been saying this for years now. It's a scam, and that was the biggest scam of this cycle, which is to get you to believe in the 4-year halving instead of liquidity and instead of the business cycle, and here we are. So that kind of leads me to my next point, which is the sentiment that I'm seeing on X. It really bothers me because 90% of what I'm seeing is that this is a generational buy opportunity, and you have this is your chance ahead of the big bull run that's coming. And the reason why that bothers me is it's still this 4-year halving cycle. It's still like, all right, fourth quarter, it's gonna happen, guys, it's gonna happen. And like, I could see it happening. And, you know, people always ask me about Benjamin Cohen. Now Benjamin Cohen's in a position where he thinks Ethereum's going to be able to rally to new all-time highs. It's great. Let's do it. But I'm kind of annoyed that it really just seems like the herd is saying, a large majority of the herd is saying, like, this is the COVID crash. There's two big liquidation events that happened in 2020 and 2021 that are very comparable to now. One was the COVID crash. If this was the COVID crash, then, oh my goodness, yeah, we're going much higher, and that's what people are saying. It's COVID crash. If it's December 4th of 2021, I mean, just think about the end of that bull run. December 4th of 2021 was the end. That was clearly the end. And I'm not making any judgments right now, but there's certainly more of a possibility that was the end than what a lot of people are saying. So, you know, the market makers, they can do a whole lot to really destroy people moving forward. Now, with that being said, like, Bitcoin is still structurally bullish. You know, so if we're just going to look at the charts, like, Bitcoin looks good. A lot of altcoins don't. Ethereum looks okay, but, like, you know, the sentiment is just wild. So, all right, last thing. What happened yesterday? $19 billion of liquidations. And the days before that was, sorry, not the days before. The COVID crash was 1.2 billion of liquidations. The FTX crash was 1.9 billion. Yesterday was 19 billion. And man, I'm sorry if this is you. Like, there's some doom stories on X. People losing, like, smart people losing millions of dollars. This guy, the white whale, lost $56 million. This guy's, I mean, he's fine, but, like, dude, anyway. I hate leverage. I hate high leverage. I only do 1 or 2x. I had one position that opened yesterday and I lost $400 on it. It got stopped out. And leverage is being introduced to this system more than ever before. And the big thing, so I never got into Hyperliquid, I never got into Aster, but people flocked to that, and that's where they got crushed, because there's something happening with Hyperliquid, with Aster, that's making it much more attractive to take on major risk. And it has to do, I think, with airdrops and stuff. That's getting people really excited about wanting to take on major risk, people who've never done it before. So 19 billion. I don't use the M word much, manipulation, but there was certainly some a great deal of manipulation yesterday. There's no way that was just Trump announcing tariffs. That's absurd. And so what was it? It was that move up to 126, that all-time high. Remember last week when I made a video saying that I think we're peaking soon? It was at a 121. I think we're hitting a local top here. And what happened instead? Well, instead, we just kept on climbing. You know, I pointed out that 4-pronged bearish divergence showing on the 4-hour chart. You don't see stuff like that. And so we just kept on climbing and climbing. And it to the point where it was like, that messed with me. You know, I got sucked into Uptober a little bit more than I would have if that didn't happen. But also, you know, I was still of a mindset, yeah, we're due for a correction. And I think that entire move to new all-time highs was just to suck people in, and that was deliberate manipulation. And all that we were supposed to do was to get up to like 120 or something for Bitcoin, and not even close to $4,700 for Ethereum. That would have given us a more clear picture of the market, and that we would have put in, yeah, a higher high, and then dropped from there and maintained bullish structure. But instead, all that did was create this atmosphere where there was a ton of leverage, a ton of new leverage brought in to make that flush out even worse. So that's the thing that just kills me with the manipulation. And that's just, it's so much easier to manipulate crypto than it is stocks, you know? And so what are you gonna do? What do you do from here? I don't blame anyone for being like, you know what, this is too much, I'm done. Especially if you've been trading leverage, you've just 1x longs, 1x shorts, maybe 2x, even though 2x's got murdered yesterday. So I'm sticking with trading with BitUnix, with leverage, because of the 1x shorting opportunities. That's really it. I don't know what else to say other than that. I'm agnostic right now as to my outlook. And if you're going to listen to other people, my only request is that you do so with a mindset that anything can happen. That we don't have to have a blow off top in the fourth quarter. That 2026 does not have to be the bear market. Because the stars are not aligned right now for mass hysteria blow off top. I've been saying that for a while, but they will be in years, not in years, in months that we would kind of label a typical 4-year cycle bottom time is actually when things can work out very nicely. So I think there's going to be a lot of pain breaking through from this 4-year cycle nonsense. And then after that, and again, you know, even this quarter, we could see massive gains. But then after that, I think there's something pretty phenomenal that may be brewing. So it's not over. And especially in stocks, I'm mega bullish in stocks. With Bitcoin, I'm mega bullish. With altcoins, we'll see. Oh, gosh. All right. Have a good weekend.